Welcome to Conservative America. My name is John Estrata, your host of today's program. It's been a very, very interesting week. We've covered a lot of areas, a lot of different topics, and in a short order, we should be getting a phone call from Arthur Schaffer from California, and he'll be giving us an update on what's happening with the movement to turn California red again. He's been a leader in door-to-door politics at his finest hour. Arthur has done great work in California. He's a great writer. He's a great patriot. He's done a lot of very great things for California. In fact, he even got thrown in jail because supposedly he was crossing the line in a city council meeting or whatever. And so we'll find out all about Arthur and what he has to offer here shortly. I've known Arthur now for a couple of years. We've worked very hard in 2016 to help President Donald Trump get elected, and hopefully 2018 we'll work together again to get a 60-vote majority in the U.S. Senate. That's really the key for all of us right now, getting that 60 votes, Republican votes that we can count on, and not the wafflers or the rhinos or anyone that is afraid to lose their seat and not do what's good for America. We need to have 60 votes that could make conservative issues and ideas very important in the United States. So here I think Arthur's on the line, so here we go. Conservative America.
Hey, John Estrada, this is Arthur Schaffer. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing just fine, Arthur. Thank you for calling in. I sort of started the show with a preview of what a great patriot you are and what fine work you're doing in California. We need another army of people just like you, and I'm sure that if we can mobilize more in California like you, California will be red again.
I absolutely agree with you. We're seeing a number of successive victories here in the state of California in spite of its deep blue hue, which has developed over the last decade. So I'm glad that I could call in. Thanks for having me. Let me know what you want me to address first. I'm happy to do it.
Well, first of all, I think it would be great for the audience to know who you are and where you came from and what led you to where you are today.
Wonderful. So just again, my name is Arthur Schaffer. I'm from Florence, California. I became a lot more politically engaged when Obamacare passed in 2010. I began writing letters to the local paper. They would get printed at length. I began working on local campaigns for state assembly, for Congress as well. And when I saw the lawlessness that was overcoming the state of California in larger degree, and having been part, the corrupt city appointed 2 illegal aliens to the city commission, it was beyond horrifying to me.
Yes.
I attended the meeting. I invited Robin Vista. She's the head of a group called We the People Rising, a strong pro-immigration enforcement team. We started beating down and protesting this corrupt city council when the state legislature wanted to pass a bill that would essentially shut down Christian colleges. When it was the LGBT movement declaring war officially on the civil rights of all Americans. I started working more heavily with a group called Mass Resistance, a family group that's based in Massachusetts. So I've been working with them. I was part of a local club called the Beach Cities Republicans. The previous president was turned out, and people said, "Why don't you run?" I did, and I won. I won re-election last November, and I intend to run a third time. So things all end up being turned out. I've been involved in a lot of movements because I've seen how decrepit and corrupt the state has become, the Democratic Party has become, these unprecedented attacks on common sense, life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. And I just love doing this. We have an incredible opportunity to have an impact in our media. We've now surpassed what the mainstream media has tried to do, even in the state of California, we're driving the narrative. Now we've got a great president, Donald Trump. I agree with Breitbart. The whole movement that got Donald Trump going was here in California.
Yes.
When angry Americans stood up to the buses coming through Marietta, and they said, we're not going to accept illegals here. And they were all forced to go back. And the momentum has been an upswing there. I've had the opportunity to make an impact with the articles I write for Town Hall, for Canada Free Press, and for Barbed Wire. The videos I've been able to do have been picked up by other outlets, and it's allowed me to expand my outreach and increase my input. Other people are now inspired to do what I'm doing. We are shaking up the political establishment. And now, this just in, the recall effort against the state senator in the North Orange County area is going to go forward. I was pleased and honored to be a part of that too. Bad bills are getting killed in the state legislature. Local groups are teaming up, getting stronger by the minute. This is incredible stuff. And this is the last day for all sanctuary jurisdictions to reject these policies and comply with federal law, or Jeff Sessions is going to come for them. So it's just nothing but an upswing here, and even here in California, we're benefiting from it.
Well, you are such a passionate guy. I like that finger in the face of your opponents, and in fact, you are so right into it. They had to take you to jail one day. Tell us a little bit about your jail experience.
Yes, Huntington Park, June 6, 2017. I will be providing more details that have already been made public. I hope the audience doesn't mind. I am pursuing legal action at this time. I can announce to the public at large I have officially filed a government claim against the city of Huntington Park for false arrest and for wrongfully ruling me out of order, undermining my First Amendment rights.
Wow.
You can look at a number of videos that are now public. I made no noise. I was not disruptive. The chief of police calls for me to be ruled out of order. Then someone lies about me from behind me.
Yeah.
And says, yes, he was ruled out of order a second time. And I said, I've had enough. The city council and the police have engaged in these tactics in the past, arbitrarily calling people out of order. We have documentation from the district attorney's office rebuking the Huntington Park City Council. Says, I'm not going to move. If you're going to violate my rights, you're going to have to go the whole way. Because I did nothing wrong. And I just didn't see. I thought of Rosa Parks. She didn't give up her front seat of the bus. She didn't do anything wrong. It was an unjust law that told her to move to the back of the bus. And in the same light, I said, I've done nothing wrong. I'm not going to accommodate your disrespect and disregard for the rule of law. I was cuffed. I was placed in a jail cell for 2 hours. I was then released with a citation. I'm already taking steps for legal action against the city.
Well, that is awesome. I was fortunate to watch some of that on video and watch some of your online performances, and you could tell that there's definitely a conspiracy by the police and certain key people in that jurisdiction.
Absolutely. Other people were called out of order a number of times for other reasons too, not just myself. And it continued in the next city council meeting. That was June the 20th. I was just called out of order for no reason. They're just desperate to remove frequent critics who are bearing down politically and financially on these corrupt, lawless cities. Huntington Park is so fearful now. They will not declare themselves a sanctuary city, although they are de facto.
Yes.
Because they have two illegals that they've appointed sitting on two city commissions.
Okay, are they still in those positions of power?
At this time, yes.
Oh my.
And this is now slavery because they do not pay them any stipend to sit on those commissions. So we have discrimination of another source. 20 citizens were removed from all the commissions, and this new set of county council members appointed new people. So we see violation of federal law, we see cronyism, we see payback. City council members are awarding lucrative contracts to political allies and friends at the expense, literally, of the entire city. Bus contracts are outrageously expensive, the service is worse. The LA Times has done 3 articles on the diminishing public service in these cities. That's just Huntington Park.
Yeah, and they're doing a lot of stories about you and your campaigns to turn California red again, right? You're sort of like you are the lead movement in California.
I'm certainly a big part of it. We've got LA County for Trump, We the People Rising. A new community called American Children First has emerged. Joseph Turner, who has been a hardcore, very invested activist and strategist, has instituted an excellent program. We have targeted 3 cities in the Southeast LA area, Huntington Park, Cudahy, and Maywood. It's a very easy process to put on the ballot in these 3 cities an initiative that will repeal the utility users tax.
Wow,
Why are these cities being targeted? They're sanctuary cities. Yeah. We are jumping ahead of Jeff Sessions, if you will, and saying, we're going to cut a big part of your budget, by having the residents of the city repeal a tax that they don't want to pay anymore.
Yeah,
and I can tell you, with Maywood, Cudahy, and later on Huntington Park, they lose this money, they will have to declare bankruptcy and possibly face, it's just, how do they expect to carry on? We intend to see the light and reverse these terrible, destructive, anti-enforcement policies.
That is awesome. That is really good work. Now, there is also an election coming up in 2018 that's sort of an interest for people all over America, and that's the Maxine Waters election. What do you think about that?
Well, I am privileged to know Omar Navarro. He is the opponent, conservative, Republican, Latino for Trump. He is running against Maxine Waters. He ran in 2016. He had only $3,000, but he was able to get 23% of the vote. Now we're coming into an off-year election. He has considerable social media profile. He's made quite an impact with outreach to the 43rd district. He lives in the district. Maxine Waters does not live in her own district. She can't even vote for herself.
And let me ask you this. She lives in sort of a mansion, too, on top of that, doesn't she?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like a $4.5 million mansion, completely removed from the heartache and hardship of her own constituents. Plus the fact that she advances destructive policies that are undermining the economy and safety of the people who look to her for leadership.
Well, as we go through this conversation right now, I want to make sure that people are able to get in touch with you. So if you can get your contact information out right now, and then we'll repeat it later down the road. But for anybody that's listening, if you could let people know how to get in touch with you if they want to help you in California.
Absolutely. My email address is arthurshopper@hotmail.com, ARTHURFCHAPPER@hotmail.com. Feel free to email me. I have my own blog, The State of the Union. That's ashopper1.blogspot.com. And my Twitter feed is @ArthurCShopper. You can reach out to me in one of those 3 ways. Would love to have your help for anybody who's listening.
That is so cool. Now, what are some of the key issues in California, and what do you think is going to drive the voters to the polls in 2018?
First of all, immigration. The state of California's Democratic supermajority, a very supermajority at that, is determined to resist Donald Trump at every step. They've advanced the bill, Senate Bill 54. It just passed out of the state Senate. This legislation would forbid state, county, and local law enforcement officials from cooperating with ICE, releasing information about illegal aliens detained, incarcerated, and released within the diverse jail system. This legislation is getting considerable pushback. The state Senate president who had introduced it, Kevin De Leon, has had to ensure that law enforcement can release information about the most violent criminals. But there's a long list of felonies and all misdemeanors, which will that information will still be retained and blocked from being shared with ICE. This is a very serious problem. We now have the federal government with case law and the No Sanctuary for Criminals Act, which just passed out of the House. Those 2 bills will undermine the lawless effort of the state of California trying to shield and promote illegal aliens.
Yes. So you're saying immigration will be the #1 issue?
That's certainly one of them. Second issue, I think, comes down to jobs. the economy. In spite of, there is a rapid growth and expansion of economic opportunity throughout the country. In the state of California, however, it's a different story in many ways. The jobs that are available are low-tax service jobs. People are getting priced out of their own homes. Men and women are struggling to make ends meet. The imposition of Obamacare has made it very difficult for working and even middle-income families to be able to stay above living from paycheck to paycheck. Education is also another issue that still troubles a lot of, middle and working income Californians, those that are still left in the state. Public safety is an issue as well. We're seeing a massive rise in crime. That ties in with illegal immigration. It also ties in with the AB 109 and Prop 47 laws and initiatives which have allowed more criminals on our streets, which has led to more homelessness, more degradation, more dysfunction, in everyday California.
And how about?
But if I would have to say three issues: immigration, healthcare, the economy. Those are the three that are really weighing on California's mind.
And how about taxes and pensions? Are those important issues too?
Absolutely. There's a day of reckoning is slowly upon us. It already hit a small town in El Dorado County, I believe. Wellington, California, the whole public employees saw their pensions cut 60%. This is going to be a rolling blowout that's going to hit more cities across the state in the next year or two. The state of California, the legislature wants to engage in virtue signaling and withdraw from investments for the pension funds from whether it's gun manufacturers or some other undesirable interest. But at the same time, we see a pension liability that's rushing towards $1 trillion, cash-strapped cities, including the three I have mentioned to you.
Yes.
Some cities like mine in Florence, they're spending a quarter of the entire budget is on pension benefits, and all of this, it's just a black hole. It's getting bigger. That's pushing many municipalities toward bankruptcy.
You know what this?
The gas tax, the car tax, it's going up, and it's driving California's crazy.
Yeah, it sort of reminds me of this pension fiasco. It's sort of like a pyramid scheme.
I think that's the perfect way to describe it. You've got the people who have cashed in first are making out very well, while working people, police officers and teachers have to wonder if there's going to be anything left.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, Janice Hahn, for example,
yeah,
LA City Councilwoman, she was my congressman for a period of time. She's now on the board of supervisors. She is effectively collecting 3 pensions, 6-figure pensions. And 2 of them are funded here in the state of California. We fund all 3 of them, whether through federal or state taxes. No one's called her out on that. There have been no reforms to ensure that doesn't happen. There's still pension spiking. There's still double dipping. I know of local officials who, they have a charge and a service to their community, but they resign early just to ensure that they have the largest pension possible.
Yes, that's pretty incredible. So there's enough information out there for the voters, conservative voters, to get excited about to come to the polls in 2018.
I really do. I think 4.5 million people voted for Trump in the state of California. We're more likely to see the same 4.5 million rush to the polls in the face of the outrageous, destructive policies coming out of Sacramento. Democrats are they're dispirited and they're divided. Bernie Krantz have tried to take over the party. The establishment Democrats became the new chairman, who's in bondage to big business and big pharma. The single-payer health care proposal, which is the most destructive bill yet to go through the state legislature, besides Senate Bill 54, the sanctuary state bill. And the speaker, even he, had to come to grips with the fact that they don't have the money to fund a $400 billion Medicaid for All program in the state of California.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible. So what do you think is the next step? Like the California Republican Party, are they really engaged on statewide issues right now?
I would say because of Trump's successes, it's getting easier for Republicans everywhere, including California, to raise money. They are doing more targeted campaigns. They've jumped in line to recall the state senator in North Orange County who voted for the gas tax.
Okay, who is that?
To grow up. His name is Josh Newman.
Okay, Josh Newman.
And he's been playing the veterans card so much to make it seem like he's a down to earth guy who just cares about average Californians. But he voted to raise the gas tax. He voted to turn California into a sanctuary state, and he voted for the single payer monstrosity. This man is totally in bondage to the Democratic Party, not to the needs of the state of California, or more directly his own constituents. And I was helping to collect signatures last weekend. We got at least 15, but in that one area alone, the movement to recall Newman has collected a whopping 86,000, 20% above the statutory minimum required.
Wow.
People want Josh Newman out, and I still submit to the state. The only reason Newman picked up that seat is because of voter fraud. There was a large influx of provisional ballots at the end that exceeded normal turnouts in previous presidential elections. And the turnout in general was a little bit lower in 2016, especially among Democrats who were burned out because Bernie Sanders got cheated. He was robbed of a decent and fair primary process by the Democratic National Committee.
Yes. Hold on for 1 second. Let me put somebody else on the line here. He's been wanting to get on. You're on the air. This is Conservative America. Yes, is this? Yes.
Hey, it's Chris.
Hey, Chris. You're on the air with Arthur Strapper, and he was just going over the movement to turn California red. Do you know Arthur, by the way?
No, I don't, but I'm familiar with his webpage.
Yeah, he's a pretty decent guy, and he's sort of one of the strong patriots in California to make that movement. And you're one of the guys that can help make California red also. So after the call is over, I'll connect you guys up so you guys can communicate.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. Do you have any questions for Arthur, Chris?
Well, other than the fact that we are under 28%, and we have in that Republican base, how do we turn this about? I can already see about 3 or 4 Republicans jumping onto the bandwagon and just sinking the ship. If we can get around one decent candidate, there might be a chance to shoot through and get through this stupid thing that we did back in 2010, where the top 2 vote getters competed in the general election. What's your 2 cents on that?
Yes, Prop 14, that's what gave us the top 2 federal primary. It definitely has to go. This was billed as a proposal to create more moderate candidates, but what's now happening is Democratic registration has such a higher margin as it is that we're seeing Democrat on Democrat races, and the more left-wing Democrat is winning. Happened with Kamala Harris versus Laura Sanchez. One Republican made it into the top 2. There's another movement called StopProp2.com. A gentleman named Tom Palzer, who is a former U.S. Senate candidate, is putting together this program. I'm on board with that and want to help in any way that I can. We've got to repeal Prop 14. I think we should allow, there's a Republican candidate, Democrat, Libertarian, a peace and freedom. We need to allow for that diversity of choice. We need to allow for, so that has to be restored. In the meantime, we've seen, there was a guy named John Potts who put in money, bankrolling his campaign. Travis Allen has now emerged. He is an outspoken, confrontational conservative in the state legislature. He's very inspiring. He proposed a bill that would defund sanctuary cities in the state of California. The bill didn't make it up to committee as expected, but he's willing to take the fight as far as he can. he helped launch an initiative to repeal the gas tax that the legislature forced on everyone. So, looking like the fact is, got a lot of candidates, and it could lead to another Dem on down. That is a concern for me. It is.
Yeah, I have a problem with Cox because he's just yet another out-of-state person coming in. He couldn't win a Cook County seat, yet he's running for governor of California. I see him as another Bill Simon. Travis Allen is a good candidate, but we need to keep other people off the ticket, keep them as sole Republican. Let Newsom, let Steyer, let Villaraigosa, Easton, Chang fight it out, and let Allen rise up above the fight. But again, the biggest ally Democrats have is our Republicans, because we cannot get out of our own way, and I feel that that's going to happen again. And this Proposition ballot initiative is working exactly as they planned for it. People talk about, oh, well, this is great because of the top 2 people, and I said, and I told people, it's like having the San Francisco Giants and the Los Angeles Dodgers play in the World Series, or the New England Patriots play against the Oakland Raiders in the Super Bowl. And people always say, well, they can't do that. It's the same conference. I said, that's exactly it. You can't, that's what the primary system is. Our best person in our party goes against your best person in your party, and we have the general runoff. And then we hear, well, that's not fair, but you can't vote. Well, just pick a team.
Well,
There's a general election in November. Everybody gets accused.
Well, what happened? Let me just make a quick statement here. What happened is that in 2016, the California Republican Party did not go out to support one candidate. They sort of just let everybody, all the Republican candidates, sort of fight it out, and they really didn't give it very much political play. And so that was one of the big problems. I hope this next 2018, the California Republican Party actually endorses one candidate.
I think that's a good idea.
That was probably because of Schwarzenegger. Schwarzenegger didn't want to get involved. Schwarzenegger was trying to pretend he was above the fray. And to be honest, we had a couple of good Republican candidates. We had DeVore, who was a good conservative, and of course we had Nate Whitman, who had a lot of the money and the business experience behind her. But by then, Schwarzenegger was already damaged good, and had proven to be a girly man when it came to being a politician, and he didn't want, and honestly, nobody wanted his support anyway.
I would have to say so that, we're now like 7 years after that. It's what we have sadly is there's a culture war underneath the political fight, and that's something that I'm very keen on. Not surrendering on immigration. Pro de Mayo has gotten back towards being co-enforcement on this issue. Galvanizing grassroots activists. This recall against Josh Newman, which I predict will not only go through to the ballot, but will be successful in getting rid of Newman, is going to show some real life. It'll get Republicans excited again. We need to get more Republicans involved. We need to limit the inordinate impact of 1 or 2 very wealthy donors who are essentially telling a host of delegates how to vote on key issues. That's a real problem to me as well. This is happening in other blue states where the Republicans are in a much weaker position, so they'll take money from anybody. That creates a lot of problems. I'd like to see that change. There's been more donation outreach, there's been more activism on the ground. I was at the February convention earlier this year, and the Republican Party basically embraced Trump's and the national Republican views on Obamacare, repeal it, refugees, no sanctuary cities, no illegal immigration. It felt like a really strong principled party, in that respect. Again, I was honored to second the motion to ensure that those four parameters were clearly outlined with the California Republican Party platform.
Wow.
The big issue is we need to find ways to give grassroots activists more power over big business and especially big labor. Another court case is on its way to the Supreme Court attacking the forced dues imposed by the California Teachers Association. This is not University of California, it's another case, and I think that this has even more legs. There are now 9 Supreme Court justices, and I am pretty sure that they're going to strike down forced dues. Gorsuch is an excellent Supreme Court justice. He is very much the mold of Scalia. The LA Times had to concede that Trump got what he promised, delivered what he promised to the Republicans and for the country as a whole, and it's going to help California immensely. I know, thanks for giving me the pause here. I would also want to add, California needs a lot of federal help, and we're getting it. Jeff Sessions is going to defund these outlaw cities. Jeff Sessions and his attending Department of Justice with the Homeland Security Department are securing our borders. The illegals are getting arrested and deported at a record pace. Area 13 is now on the run. We've seen the hotbeds for illegal immigration shuddering every day as ICE comes in and begins deporting criminal illegals. We also need to crack down on voter fraud. That is a huge problem, and Trump is dealing with that too. California needed federal intervention, and we finally are getting it.
You know, the other thing that I think is going to help California is the movement with the internet and social media. I think social media is a great balance to our fake news, corrupt news, and I think that's a very positive movement by social media. What do you think?
Thank you for bringing that up. You know, Bert Karlewski is a preeminent conservative mind on this, and he had even joked it would have been better for Meg Whitman to purchase the LA Times rather than run for governor. The good news is that, we're about, 7 years after that opportunity. The LA Times is falling apart fast. They actually did a lead article on me for the June 3rd edition. There was my paper right there on the top fold of the front page. It was intended as a smear piece against me, seeing me as a wild, disconnected, unemployed wacko.
And like a nut? Like a California nut?
Yeah, what a California peanut or almond, get them harvest out there in Stockton. But it ended up really backfiring. A lot of people supported what I was doing. Friends of mine even said, I didn't even read the article, I just saw your picture, and that was enough. They featured a video of me being unjustly thrown out of the town hall, posted by Maxine Waters. But the video they had, it vindicated me. I was not a disruptor. They undermined their own narrative. And then on top of that, I got a lot of dirt on the LA Times with the reporter. She told me how all of they're laying off reporters left and right. All the reporters have to work in the same room. They have to cover multiple stories because there's not enough staff anymore. And now I've even had to force them to change their reporting. They want to create another narrative that we Trump supporters are a bunch of lawless disruptors who are frequently getting arrested. I was arrested in Hunting Park unjustly. I filed that claim. I forced the reporter. She changed the story online. But what she ended up printing 3 days after the incident in another city didn't even mention me at all. It's like they just can't uphold their narrative anymore. They can't even edit properly. And I'm having a great time exposing them. They're falling apart. They don't have the impact they used to. You and I, with our line feed, our videos, our blogs. I'm also now a journalist from VexelNews.io. I was front and center at the Maxine Waters Town Hall in Gardena, California.
Yes.
That woman has never faced such an onslaught. We Trump supporters laid siege to welfare Queen Maxine. She was so terrified she couldn't even get out of the building. She delayed it for 20 minutes because she didn't want to have to deal with the fact that there was 80 people outside booing and hollering and denouncing every corrupt thing that she's been done. It was magnificent.
That is awesome. That is really cool. What do you think, Chris?
It used to be that the mainstream, that the media, the news media, used to be the watchdog of the government. It's why we had a free press right into the First Amendment of the Constitution. And we even had journals like Origins, Almanac, Common Sense, even Alexander Hamilton, the New York Post, was a 1700s version of what you would call a blog, which is what I would tell students when I was teaching class. But what has happened is, and this has happened over the last, since the 1960s, is media has taken sides. And for the most part, they have taken sides on the Democrat left. It's happened since the 60s with Vietnam, the whole peace and love movement, and now it's the old adage from the 80s, who watches the Watchmen? Well, now we have the bloggers, we have social media, the internet, and now you're seeing the crack up of mainstream media. They can't handle it. We just saw 3 journalists at CNN step down and resign. One of which was a Pulitzer Prize winner, having to admit, this was a huge news story that didn't get reported, that CNN basically had to capitulate, that their stories and reporting about Donald Trump and his collusions with Russia were fake, and they were making it up. One of which was a Pulitzer Prize winner. That's major news. That's a scandal. They had one source that they couldn't even cooperate because they couldn't find the guy. One source, 3-4 journalists on a tagline, and they had one source. And you see what's happening with Mika Brzezinski and Scarborough from Morning Joke. And what's the mainstream media? They're rallying around Mika, but if you listen, if you look at and read the journals and you read the blogs, people are saying, wait a minute, Mika, you were sitting there trashing the president, and you were saying a whole lot of things. If you can't dish it out, if you can't take it, don't dish it out. So there's been a whole lot of lack of sympathy, and you're starting to see that start to wane up a little bit too. So in many ways, the president has had quite a few victories over the last week. Now,
I'd like to
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I can't understand what you're saying.
Okay, can you hear me better now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, well, I just share with everybody what we've seen happening, part of the game, I couldn't agree more with what happened, in the 60s, seeing how media was taking a side. What I think was really happening especially was this arrogant and unfounded notion that media could be completely objective and be the final determinant of truth in reporting. Walter Cronkite advertised himself as an objective commentator, but even he privately had left-leaning views and did not believe that a conservative point of view deserved attention in national media. That was a clear bias.
So that was sort of the lead to their gatekeeping philosophy.
Yes, exactly. 200 years ago,
Okay, hold on. Wait, Chris. Let's go one at a time.
Yeah, let me wrap up because I was able to extend. There was a great commentary from Chris, so I'm just responding.
Okay.
At founding, even before the founding, there were the Federalist Papers. There were newspapers that were pro-Federalist and newspapers that were clearly anti-Federalist. Their political bent was announced and manifest, and yet they reported. It was an understanding that there would be 2 clear points of view at minimum from a number of papers, so that made it acceptable. People were able to handle that. And I hope that, and I'm seeing that we're coming back to that again, where newspapers, blogs, etc., manifest where their worldview is or their political bent, and they're able to report. And this has really helped Breitbart. This has helped Free Beacon. It's helped The Blaze. It's helped individuals such as you and me on the ground recording events. Because while MSNBC, NBC, and these other, major left-leaning corporations were just obsessed with Russia, they completely imploded their credibility, while these other newspapers, these other media sources, were looking at a diverse array of issues and paying attention to the president's agenda, how it's coming through, and where he's missing the mark even. So this is a compelling turn of events for the better, especially with even Facebook and other social media platforms, which allow literally no spin because you have somebody who's recording it live, whatever's happening.
Yes.
So it's an absolute revolution. It's broken the chokehold that the media has had on our discourse and understanding of events. We're seeing also, the parts of the institutions which have ensured such a left-wing chokehold on our culture, their grasp is loosening. We need to make sure that conservatives step up and ensure integrated, clear values, American values are preeminent once again in these institutions.
Well, let me just add on to that a little bit, Arthur. One thing is that we've got to somehow get a funding, financial mechanism to support your movement, movements like Chris, movement like mine, that get there and help make America great again. Because without the financial resources, we can only do it, pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters. Where the other side has billions of dollars in advertisement because they're built into the system.
Well, the response to that is boycotts are becoming effective. Kellogg's wanted to essentially defund Breitbart. They antagonized the content of that website and alienated the many millions, multi-millions of viewers.
Yeah.
And now Kellogg is in rapid decline all over the country. Distribution plants, manufacturing plants under the Kellogg brand are closing in droves.
Wow.
So we're able to fight back. We have to be prepared to do that.
So boycotting is effective.
Boycotting, yes. Boycotting the advertising. Yeah, we need to get more militant coordinated about that. MSNBC, they've got their corporate advertisers and plan to start targeting them and making it very clear, we're not going to support the people who allow you to broadcast lies, fake news, and distortions.
I call it corrupt news.
Yeah, absolutely. CNN, they're losing market share daily. They, as Chris mentioned, 3 journalists now forced to resign. And, when the travel ban was reinstated a couple days ago by the Supreme Court, I went down to LAX personally and started to protest celebrating the president. The news doesn't want to celebrate the travel ban's reinstatement.
Exactly.
We have to do it.
Well, that's one of the reasons I had started Conservative America. When I was thinking about running for the U.S. Senate back in 2016, basically the problem is that I ran into the reporter from the San Francisco Chronicle early on, and I basically told her I'm a conservative, and I started giving her all my conservative issues. And right after that, she says, "I'm sorry, but I can't report that."
She actually said that.
Yes, she did. Carla Muccici, or whatever her name was.
Marinucci.
Yeah, Marinucci. She's the one that was the gatekeeper for the San Francisco Chronicle.
And they let her go too. She now works for the clearly left-leaning Politico, and Politico has been busted a number of times for slanted and unjust, just plain false reporting too.
Cool.
Yeah.
So it's working. Our little movement is working, and with the power of your fire in the valley and your patriotism, and you guys being patriots, I think we've got some really victories in 2018 coming along here.
Absolutely. Many people are making this visit possible in California. Glendale 61, Leave the People Rising, LA County for Trump. We've got the Red Elephant. I work for a company, Bethel News. We are on the cutting edge, revealing how corrupt and desiccated the whole liberal cult from 8 years of Obama and the fawning press, the compliant corporations, our corrupted and broken education systems, what they were promoting. It's all being exposed. We're seeing a massive rupture among the left, and we've got to give so much credit to Donald Trump, so much.
Yeah.
The man who stood up to and took the media down, forcing them to play by his rules, exposing themselves. If nothing else, Trump has completely broken the information monopoly, the gatekeeper role
Yes.
that the media has played for so long. That's going to make all of our lives better, and it's going to ensure that we are able to make America great again and to make California great again.
That is awesome. Arthur, will you give your contact information again so people could join you and help you and give you resources and give you manpower and do everything we need to do, because we really got to do that in 2018. I'd sure like to see Maxine Waters pack her retirement bags.
Oh, absolutely. It's Absolutely. So again, to contact me, my email address is arthurshopper@hotmail.com, ARTHURSCHAPPER@hotmail.com. If you want to donate to help the cause for myself, I'm on PayPal. You just use my email address and send any funds there if you like to do that. We have also LA County for Trump. Reach out to us on Facebook, We the People Rising. Get in touch with Robin Vincent. Her website is WeThePeopleRising.com. We are looking for as many active and interested California patriots. It's super partisan. We have people of all backgrounds who are fed up with the corrupt progressive Democratic Party. We want to ensure the complete defeat of that communistic failing. Democrats want to go communist. That's why this is no longer about bipartisanship. The Democratic Party either has to completely evacuate this communistic agenda, or they need to close up shop. And it looks like they're about to close down. They're going to go the way of the wigs at this point. So get in touch with me. Please help us out. We want to make California great again. We want to ensure that the Trump train roars all the way down on the track.
Gotcha. How about any events coming up in the near future that people could participate in?
So, Maxine Waters is going to have an event in Exposition Park. It's going to be July the 5th from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Make sure to go to Facebook events and find that event. Register for it. It's free. Make sure to go there. We're going to have people going there. July 2nd, in front of the Los Angeles Police Department headquarters there on First Street. We're going to be celebrating our president, celebrating Independence Day, celebrating his growing successes. That's the way to go. We're getting candidates vetted to run for state office, assembly, state senate, and for statewide office for next year too. So just, you can check my blog for updates. You can check my Facebook page, arthurchristopher.shopper, facebook.com/ and the rest of it, to reach out to me. And the most prized thing I have out of this is that individuals come up to me and they say, thank you, Arthur, because of what you're doing, you've inspired me to do stuff. And it's just a really great thing that people are, they get drawn out of their fear zone or comfort zone and want to join the fight. And they know that this is a fight that they can win. Well,
I've been waiting a long time to see Republicans get in the face of Democrats, and you're definitely taking it to the fight to them, and I applaud you for that. That is awesome work you've been doing for California. And Arthur, I really do appreciate your participation and you being on Conservative America. And anytime you have an update, please call in and we'd have you give us a report of what's going on. And anything I can do to support it, you let me know. Chris, if you could stay on the air, I'd like to wrap the program up with you. And Arthur, thank you. And anything else, final thoughts on you have to say, Arthur?
Not at all. I can't wait. I know Chris has got a lot of great things to share, so absolutely, let him take it away.
Okay, thank you so much. God bless, Arthur.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So what do you think, Chris?
His Facebook page, Make California Red Again. If people go to his Facebook page, he's got more members on that page than the closed group than there are on some of the mainstream.
Hello.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Who's calling, please?
Yeah, hey, Chris asked me to call. This is Jeff Crow from my show on 1680 AM radio here in California.
Yeah, yes. Welcome to the show.
Yes, John.
I've got this kind of what's going on here today. It's interesting how things are happening with the media. But one thing that really caught my attention was you guys had said in the statement, we've got so much against us, whatever, the mainstream media, all that. Okay, yeah, it's true, but it's a paper tiger, right? If you look at CNN's ratings, they're a 1 share now. 1 share is literally bottom barrel. That's basically the equivalent of only having your guests on your show, watching your show, and their families too. So it's basically the equivalent the blind leading the blind, people who would not have gotten on our side anyways, who are watching it, MSNBC is even worse. And in the demographics that really count, where you make your ad sales, your ad revenue, 25 to 54 males in particular, but women as well from suburban areas, they do horribly, terrible. They're having to keep their networks afloat, both MSNBC, which I have a name for, I won't say because this is a family show. Then also CNN, they're keeping their networks afloat through donations and money from the left spewing it up. And quite frankly, I hope they keep doing it because they are wasting their money.
Yeah, in fact,
they're also moving in that direction.
Yeah, in fact, the Democrats are still scratching their head and pulling out their hair from Hillary Clinton spending $1 billion and losing.
Yes, she spent double what Donald did, and yeah, she won some more votes, but she won them in the states that she already had in the bag. I mean,
and it didn't matter.
And it, like 3 million votes means nothing.
And it didn't matter because electoral vote counts.
Right, exactly. And Donald understood the nature of the contest. And that's what I tell conservatives and liberals and then my fellow libertarian types, which is what I lean towards, is that it doesn't matter, it did not matter on the popular vote. Donald understood the nature of the contest itself, and so he made sure to get the excitement where it counted, and then flip states that we haven't won since pretty much the last time we had a semi-libertarian president, which would be Ronald Reagan. Pennsylvania had not flipped since, I believe, 1984, I want to say the last time we won it. Michigan was 1988, Bush barely got it. And ever since we went neocon and et cetera, we started losing the Midwest. Pat Buchanan has a great book, by the way, about that. And there's also some other ones called, one in particular is What is Wrong with Kansas.
Well, Jeff,
how the Democrats took the Midwest from us. Well,
Jeff,
took it back, and I don't see it flipping anytime soon.
Jeff,
It's probably taking it permanently from them.
Yeah, Jeff, I've only got a few more minutes left on this hour, and but I do want people to know who you are and the radio station and all your contact information, so people.
I'm sure when 1680 AM in Fresno, and then I also am starting up in the Sacramento market, and I've an offer or two from Southern California.
Okay, what is your website?
Right. The station site is my1680.com, and then with me, my show's called Spotlight on the Valley. I'd love to chat with you guys some other time off the air. Chris knows what it pertains to, but we can certainly help make what you have going there even greater than it already is great.
Excellent. I appreciate that, and definitely we'll be having a conversation. This has been a very busy couple of weeks. I've sort of got, I'm launching 2 other shows next week, so I've been really tied down. I'm going to be launching Pitch Your Business, and then also a talent showcase online starting next week. So I've got 3 hours of broadcasting every day. But
nice. Yeah, I could help you fill up that Pitch Your Business time, by the way. I'm pretty good at setting up businesses for these types of shows. Part of what I do now already entails that. So
that is cool.
Absolutely. Then I'm familiar with Vegas. It's the business I used to live at. So
cool.
I'll chat with you guys another time.
Okay.
Chris,
and
you're doing a great job, and keep it rolling, man.
Yeah, thank you for calling in, and definitely we'll be in touch. God bless.
All right, thank you, John. Good job with your show. Have a happy 4th of July.
Appreciate it. You too.
Yeah.
What do you think, Chris?
Your show's really starting to pick up in your ears, John. Congratulations.
Well, thank you for your support and your help. I know you're pushing it, and we really appreciate that.
I'm just doing a little bit and a little bit in my little corner.
Well, the most important thing is the audience gets a chance to hear real news, and they don't hear all that fake news and corrupt news. And so, if we could be an alternative to that, I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I am now home from teaching and teaching summer school. I'm on vacay for the next month, and it's officially
Well, let me ask you this. There's a candidate there in the Central Valley that I'd sure like to see get defeated. The congressman that's been there, do nothing. What's his name? I forgot his name. You know who I'm talking about. Yeah, Costas. Yeah.
Jim Costa, he's already Costas.
Yeah.
Jim Costa has been, the problem with good old St. Jim Costa is he goes back to the good old boy network.
Yes.
He is ingrained. He's made everybody around here believe he's a blue dog. He's got hardcore conservative Republicans who have voted for Ronald Reagan, believing that he's one of them, he represents the Valley, and he has them believing that he can talk to Pelosi, he can talk to Boxer and Feinstein. He is speaking up for us in D.C. on the Democrat side. Problem is, you don't ever hear from Costa when he gets back there. He's a backbencher who does exactly what Pelosi and Steny Hoyer and the rest of them tell him to do. You don't hear him about anything on water. You don't hear about anything. The Central Valley, Central California, what people need to realize is California is not a single state. California literally is 6, 7 different districts. And the Central Valley, Central California, what John and I are talking about, from Stockton in the north to Bakersfield in the south, and that Central Valley circle is, if it was its own state, would be West Virginia, Appalachian level poverty and low level education.
Yeah.
And the Bay Area in LA just sucks everything out. These are two global destinations, major population centers, and they just go into Sacramento, they go to DC, and they suck up the funding, they suck up the support, and the Valley is just left to fend for itself.
Yes.
And Costa is just one more. He's been that way since he was in the state legislature in the early 80s when he was the right-hand man. When he was the right-hand man for Willie Brown,
Yeah.
he did his time. He moved over to the state senate for over a decade. And then when Congressman Cal Hooley stepped down and retired, Jim Costa said, Congressman Dooley thought so little of Jim Costa that his chief of staff, who hadn't lived in the Valley in over 20 years because she was from D.C., she reestablished her residency.
Anyway, hey Chris, we got to wrap up. We're at the top of the hour. Please call in anytime. We would love to hear your thoughts and advice and opinions and update on everything. But
You can see my writings. If you know Ken Jackson from Fox News and CNN and other places, he has me writing for him on his Black Sphere website.
Excellent.
I have recently been tapped by Liberty News. I'm hoping to get on some other places while I do that spin around job search as I look to expand my horizons to other places. So while I'm on the summer break, I'm looking to continue the writing. You know, that's my love and passion.
okay, thank you, Chris. I appreciate your time. God bless America. This is California. This is Conservative America, and we thank our guests. We will be posting this on YouTube, and people will be able to share it. Thank you. God bless. Have a great day.